Okay, this is the worst thing you can say, putting your camera on, is this is the most important film I've ever made, or bit of footage. But it is. And this is just for my daughter. At dusk yesterday, Offa's Path up there, I was walking down a very steep part, and I have 3 of these Ulanzi. And as I was walking down, I had my backpack on, and across the top was this tripod, and the Ulanzi was affixed to the top. And I actually heard one of those drop onto the grass. I actually heard that as I was walking down at normal pace. Now, I collected myself together and found the piece that had dropped, and then the other piece comes out and the springs come out. As has happened many times before, and it seems there's no way to stop this happening. Now, I'm going to get to the point of that in a moment. You can call it a word picture, an allegory, a metaphor, but it just sums up where British society is. Now, I had my act together such that I heard that, and then collected the pieces together and put them in my pocket, and I will reassemble it, and there is no way of stopping this happening. It is a complete design fault. It is absurd. But these things, they're marketed as, you know, the cool guys. Hey, gotta have an Ulanzi. It sums up the total and utter paucity of our society. Now, next thing. Last night, in my little bed here, I'd love that stuff to be moved. And if I, well, this is really difficult to put, but it's how I've lived for a few years, since the beautiful year of 2020. I could organise a shelf. I've thought many times about where a shelf can go, but one knows, not I know, one knows. If one has a proper philosophical mind as to what's really going on in society, one knows at any minute some weird, crushing thing from somebody who you thought was your friend or ally. I think except for one. I don't think Farmer Helen would ever do anything. But apart from her, anybody can just sort of put something into your life that, well, we've had our perfect example up in the hills, working, rebuilding a fence like that, in the same condition as that, diligently plodding away in really tough ground, and over 2 months, no forewarning, they go nasty. Don't pay 6 days proper hard day work, day rate. I don't care in the slightest. All I care, now of course this is going to sound slightly contradictory, because what have we got there? 50 hours work unpaid. I've wasted 50 hours of my time, but I haven't. It was worth every penny to discover that even that family, woman, 65-year-old landowner, who makes out that she's the God's gift to righteousness. No, even she can't be trusted and has within this need to flail out. It's just her personal, inner, existential, hellish angst. Now, I have none. 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 Coming in, sleeping in there last night. God, I just felt so lovely. There's nothing special about last night, but I was just in my little bed there. It's like, and I was like, oh, this is the best place in the world to sleep. Simple as that. Just long enough, just enough space to just about stretch out. That's all I need. My little cave. Now we'll lock this up. Where have I put my camera? Yeah, and then yesterday, sending the text sat at the top of the hill to the woman who made out she was a horsey woman. It was a good text, that. I just want to know the answer to one question. Are you actually a country woman? No answer. They're all in such a mess. Now, I'm going to finish this with something that's going to sound rather unpleasant, but it's not. It's just an observation. I wouldn't. Right, everything's organised. What I know is I do have to leave Britain. I so have to get out of Britain. The way that... It's horrible. You turn on the radio and what do we have? Oh, the Spice Girl says that she was in an abusive relationship for 10 years. Well, why didn't she leave? It's as if everything has to be a psychodramatic performance. You know, I'm sorry. A rich, well-off woman, a rich woman, part of a... I mean, I didn't like the Spice Girls, but I accept part of a social movement, a leader, almost of a social movement, now 10 years on, wants pity because she didn't have the friendship, allies, support, intelligence to get out of an abusive relationship, and then goes to the Tory party conference to tell us all about it. Well, I actually think that's disrespectful to the man, the abuser, because she ain't telling all the story there. Yeah, this is almost... Anyway, that's not the problematical thing. The problematical thing is this, and this is going to sound sour. I don't have any sourness. I just know when everything has been co-opted. Everything that once kind of was real has been co-opted. So there's a woman around town, and this is no disrespect to her. I noticed her about a month ago. This is nothing attacking her or anything. And she dresses like she must be about 45 to 50. She dresses just like Diana dressed 40 years ago. She dresses like a homespun, hippie, thoughtful person. Now, within the last Megan Down, that awful woman of the wellness, who Megan shouldn't have had on, this is just pandering to the lowest form of bimboism, having these people on at the end of the day. It's actually Megan porn. That's what it is. Even she's been ruined. Anyway, this woman refers to some hippie element. Hippiness is thoughtful. It's got nothing to do with drugs. other than a little bit of mind expansion of consciousness, which every 15, 16-year-old thinks is what it's all about, and then discovers actually it's not. But that's the one of my stalkers is coming along. That's the kind of the PR of the thing. But it is about always being thoughtful of other people. Always being thoughtful of how one's behaviour affects other people. Like, should I have my generator on in this countryside place? Blah, blah, blah. You could go on forever. And looking after the environment properly, etc., etc. Anyway, so this woman, she dresses like your absolute perfect hippie chic woman of the liberated, totally equal. She always wears trousers. Woman of the late 70s, early 80s. But then I see her coming by this morning, and you see, it's all about physical fit. She's got her running gear on. It's actually not about her. And she's with Mr. Utter, I mean, literally, guy who looks like Joe Rogan, but dresses like Joe Rogan. The expensive ribbed, sporting, short anorak, whatever you want to call these jackets. The expensive running shorts. And the whole bearing is, in fact, as he's going along up there, he's like sportive. I'm Mr. Sporty, fit man of iron. And the point being, it's kind of all fake. You know, this poor woman would have no idea what the values are of the fashion that she's adopted. The values were to eschew all expensive. I mean, I know that guy's jacket would have been very expensive. Eschew all such values. The brand, the look. Nope. Anyway, that's it really. And I know that my holding on to a notion of homespun, not self-righteousness, just homespun, quiet, gentle authenticity. In Britain, it's just simply, there is no point. Nobody anymore even understands. I mean, this is, you know, I've been doing this for 5 years. Even here in this place where things are low-key, you can't get above your station here. But even here, it's about designer brands looking like the guy off the coolest YouTube. And the women kind of not that different. It's all about these things. He's just turned up, you know, expensive designer minis. I mean, this is the countryside where you might need to stick a couple of sheep in the back. Nope, it's all about that. So, if even here you can't find just the simple, old-fashioned, yokelish, no, it's not yokelish at all. You take part in society, you look after the environment, you look after the community. Those things are prioritized. You haven't got time to clean your car every 3 days. Every single vehicle that you see, even here, is, I mean, there was one park next to me yesterday, a middle-aged couple in their 65, 70. And like, their white car, it's like every bit of dirt had been polished off, clearly is polished off twice a day. We used to know, those of us who took part in society, etc., etc., we knew 20 years ago, that's why I moved out here, right? That life's too short to care about what your car looks like. Other than maintaining it so that it's going to last a reasonable amount of time, and thus you're protecting you're looking after the natural resources of the planet. Anyway, there is no point. End of. Over and out. Let's go out with a bimbo.